I'm going to speak up right away because I loved Hawkeye, where it got into, predictive policing and versus privacy, and how far should those things go? Should we feel protected, and yet how much privacy do we have to give up? I think that's so relevant today, and there's so many more issues that we're coming into. I mean, we definitely touch on and discuss the effects of global warming into 2065, and it's a fun show, but I think it is really cool to be able to touch on relevant topics like that.
The global warming one is addressed nicely, but the thing is, we don't shove it down your throat of this is what's going to happen. It's said in a conversational text very casually to the viewer, and you kind of hear it, you register it, but it's no finger waving at all.
Yeah, and the future of farming. The future of farming is interesting too, coming down how food is grown.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing where Vega has the perception. I mean, can I almost say it? I don't think I'm right. Vega has the idea that an ear of corn should be this big, and she's like, "What? Corn's this big, right?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I think that we're living in a time right now, as you said, where people are being investigated for their Google searches, and I'm not sure I'm on board with that. Not to give anything away about myself, but I don't know. I just think that's a little bit too invasive. Right?
I want to say something almost personal about that. I wanted to look up something that had to do with my daughter. She's an infant, and I wanted to look up something about, how do you deal with such and such? And my husband was like, "Don't Google that. Don't Google it." Literally, and that made me so sad. I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I can't Google that, but she's my daughter. I'm just trying to help her, go."
I have a hard time describing fate in real life, let alone in a TV show form.
Well, I think the way we deal with it is that there is a fate for you, but there also is free will, and there's a balance between those two things. And it is, on our show, the point that you have a choice. You do have a choice, and that's the point of the film as well, as you get to the end of it. So I don't think fate is a heavy play. You see what's coming down the road, but there is a choice.
There's a number of episodes where, in the investigation process, we change things, but it doesn't mean we've stopped it from happening. So I suppose fate is in there. You're making me think about this in real time. Actually, I don't have a pat answer for you. It's a good question. I guess it's as confusing as it is to Nick.
Yeah, very philosophical question, guys. Just heads up.
I was a fan of the movie, especially all the tech in the movie, and the idea that you could walk into a Gap and it would recognize you and say, "Hey, Mr. Sands, do you want another pack of another pack of white T-shirts like you bought last time?" And that's actually happening now. If you have that app on your phone, it'll beep and it'll tell you, "Hey, use this coupon to buy this stuff at American Apparel," and it's real. So the movie was very good at predicting what was going to happen, and it's happening a lot faster than you think.
Yeah.
So I was into that. I'm a fan of futuristic stuff. So it's like a playground being on the show.
Yeah, the movie was spot on in that stuff, but I think I watched it probably for other reasons. That didn't, you know what I mean? I was more interested in the characters, and I think I probably saw it twice when it came out, at least, if maybe not 3 times, within the next year or so. Yeah, I loved it. So
Big
cool.
fan of the movie. And the tech that we have now, come on, it's almost identical. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I have one. It hasn't come into play yet, but Mr. Spielberg has come up with the idea of a smart gun that will only fire if the owner of the gun is holding it, who's an authorized user of that gun and is certified to use that gun. And I think in light of what sort of is happening in America, certainly about once a month, it'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if guns were smart like that and would not fire unless they were.
Couldn't they also tell if there was hostile intent or something?
I think that's another part.
Isn't that part of it?
Smart guns.
Yeah.
Let's get smart guns. Are you listening? Let's get smart guns for real.